Everybody's macho. We don't need mics.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. My name is Chris Watson. I am lucky to be the nephew of Sharon and my Uncle Mike. Uncle Mike has asked me to read memories.
You're okay, Bubba. I got you.
And I could not think of
I got you.
a higher honor in my life.
I got you.
In memory of Aunt Sharon by Chris Watson. When someone you love is no longer with us, we rely on the love and memories they left us to carry on. Putting those feelings and memories into words can be one of the hardest endeavors possible. My Aunt Sharon left me not only with the memories of many events in my life, but with also the memories of her love. When I was very young, I still remember the very first time we visited her, Uncle Mike, right over here on the base in 29 Palms. Throughout my life, whenever we visited Mike and Sharon, their home was like being in our own. She was always welcoming and loving when we entered their home. She always had a great sense of style and was a joy to see. Her love and guidance were a comforting balm during difficult times in my life. When Adrian and I had our sons, it was a natural choice to ask Sharon and Mike to be their godparents. We knew that the same love that emanated from them would be given to our children. Aunt Sharon, your love and your sense of style was always something to behold. Things I will never forget, that will be with me always and always bring me a smile. Uncle Mike, you have been a person of strength to me and someone to look up to and try to emulate. Thank you for sharing Aunt Sharon's love towards me and my family. The strength of Sharon's love was mighty. Hang on to the light of that love and you will never be lost. This next one is her son Jason. My mother was the strongest person I have ever known. She could clean a house faster than anyone I've ever met and did a great job. She would work all day cleaning houses and then come home and take care of the family in one way or another. Cooking dinner, doing laundry, cleaning her own home. She would clean my house when she could, and there was a time that I remember that she cleaned my house and took it upon herself to rearrange my entire home. Moving the living room around, rearranged the 3 bedrooms, and when she decided that during this process my 90-gallon fish tank was no longer needed to be in my bedroom, she moved it by herself into my computer room, hated it in there, and then moved it into the living room. Did I mention that it was a full 90-gallon tank and she moved it not once but twice? I had moved it before, but I had always had to drain 80% of the water out and leave the fish in like 3 inches of water. Of course, while moving the fish tank, my entertainment center was in the way, and so she moved it across the room to the other side, where it was loaded with a huge TV and a full stereo system. She was not only a strong person when it came to moving furniture, she was very strong-willed. My mother had uterine cancer, throat cancer, and breast cancer, and survived them all. She was trying her hardest to survive the lung cancer. She took the chemotherapy like a champ and never really complained about it other than it made her tired and caused her heartburn. My mother also had very strong opinions. If she did not think you were doing something that would be best for you, she never hesitated to speak her mind. This would cause many people to include family in the fight and argue with her for months or years at a time. My relationship with her was a little different. Her and I both were very much the same when it came to speaking our minds. If she did not like something I was doing or saying, she would let me know very fast. I would do the same to her. This caused her and I to fight a lot, but we could never stay mad at each other for more than 30 minutes at a time before one of us called the other and said, "We're sorry." I'm going to miss my mother very much. I will miss our fighting much less. Your son, Jason. This memory is from my mother, Jo. I love my little sister Sharon with all my heart, and I'm going to miss her terribly. I enjoyed all the time I spent with her and her family over the years, and I want to share a few of my fondest memories of her. Sharon always knew what she wanted. We grew up on a farm in Indiana. One day when Sharon was 5 years old, Daddy took the kids to Farmer's Fair, then to Dairy Queen for a special treat. Daddy asked Sharon if she wanted an ice cream sundae, and Sharon said, "No, Daddy, I want the ice cream now."
I don't want an ice cream sundae, I want it now.
Sharon was always a talented musician, or musically. I can remember when all of us girls would sing as we washed the dishes in the kitchen. Sharon had a beautiful voice, and she would laugh at me because I couldn't carry a tune in a bucket. Sharon even sung on the radio, and later she learned to play the guitar. When Sharon grew up, she married Mike and had 2 wonderful boys, Jason and Joshua. I loved her and her family and always will. One day, when Jason was 2 years old, he started calling me Mama. I told him, "No, I'm your Aunt Joe." Then Jason said, "Mama Jojo?" And that's been my special nickname ever since. Sharon was creative and had a flair for fashion and design. When she would come visit me, she would always help redecorate to make my house beautiful. One day a friend told me one of my pretty glasses had fallen over and set it back up. I said, "Nope, that's the way it's supposed to be." Sharon said it like that. Later, Sharon had her boutique. I would go with her on trips to LA, and we had a ball picking out clothes and supplies. She always said she liked it when I went because I could keep up with her. I loved my little sister, Sharon, with all my heart, and I enjoyed all the time I was able to spend with her. I know she's with God in heaven now, and we can all see her again there someday. The next memory is from her sister, I believe it's Karen. Yep, Karen. Someone asked me, "Why do you dream?" That is my private time to talk to angels. I have a new angel in heaven with a new body and no pain. Sharon, you can talk to me day or night, and I love you. Sharon was Daddy's little brown-eyed girl. She could always sing like a bird, sweet and happy. She's playing and singing now. Then one day she met her true love, happy and solid forever. Sharon never faltered while she was sick. I've always looked up to her. She told me many times that her and God had an understanding and everything was in His hands. Always remember, you can always have her with you in your heart. She will always hear you, and if you open your heart, she will come to you in your dreams. This is so comforting when she does. God will only give us what we can handle. He was ready for her to come home. Fly well, my angel, and we will meet again in heaven. I love you, sis. This memory I'm sharing is from Sandy, her sister. To my loving little sister, Sharon. I know you thought God would heal you, and I'm sure He did. You have a new body. You can breathe and walk around on streets of gold, visiting with your heavenly family. I will miss you. I remember all the times we spent together last time you were home. All of us girls had a slumber party at Janie's house. We wore pajamas, we laughed, shared memories, sang into the night. I remember when we came to California to help take care of you when you went through throat cancer. I fixed oats for your breakfast. You couldn't talk, but I will never forget the look on your face after you took a bite. Waving your arms, making a terrible face. Obviously, something was wrong. I had no idea what I had done wrong, what I did wrong, but it did not take long before I realized I had put salt in your oatmeal instead of sugar. We've had a lot of good times throughout the years. We've also had difficult times. Anytime someone was sick or had tests, you always was calling to check on us and praying for us. I will miss you more than words. I love you, Sharon. Your sis, Sandy. This is a memory from her sister, Joy. I have so many memories of Sharon and me growing up, running to meet the mailman every day, learning to play the guitar and singing together. One of my favorite memories is teaching her how to make a quilt over the phone. It was funny. She was bound and determined to learn, and she did. She would call 2 or 3 times a day, checking to see if what she was doing was right. She ended up making one for each of her siblings. I talked to her last on her way to get chemo. She said, when all this mess is over, I'm going to come to Indiana and go on a quilting retreat with you and Sandy. She won't get to do that. I miss her a lot. It doesn't seem real. But I know Sharon is in a better place. She's probably talking with Mother about making quilts and dancing and singing up a storm. Never again to be short of breath. Our loss is heaven's gain. Joy. Another letter or memory is from her sister Janie. Sharon, my sister, my friend. As a young girl growing up, Sharon was always my idol. I wanted so much to be like her, look like her, sing like her, but I never quite measured up. Being one of 12 children, we didn't have a lot growing up. I was in high school, and Sharon and Mike would come home for a visit. She would open up her suitcase full of the latest fashions and say, wear anything you want to for school today. She had beautiful clothes, and I was always excited to get to wear some of the latest fashions. Soon it would be time for her and Mike to go back to their home. Sharon always managed to leave something special for me. Over the years, Sharon never forgot my birthday or Christmas. Even when Sharon was going through chemotherapy, she would have Mike stop so she could shop holding on to the racks because she wasn't able to shop without holding on. We shared so many memories together raising our children, decorating our homes, fashion, music, dance, and our favorite soap opera. There is a song that comes to my mind. I can only imagine. I can visualize Sharon dancing at the foot of Jesus. I will always cherish and hold tight to the memories of my precious sister, my friend, Sharon. The final one I'm going to share today is, I believe, something you put in here, Uncle Mike. Jason did? Okay. A poem from an unknown author. I'm free. Don't grieve for me, for now I'm free. I am following the path that God has laid, you see. I took his hand when I heard him call. I turned my back and left it all. I could not stay another day, to laugh, to love, to work, to play. Task left undone must that way. I found that peace at the close of day. If my parting has left a void, then fill it with remembered joy. A friendship shared, a laugh, a kiss. Oh yes, these things I too will miss. Not to be burdened with time of sorrow, I wish you the sunshine of tomorrow. My life's been full, I savored much. Good friends, good time, a loved one's touch. Perhaps my time seemed all too brief. Don't lengthen it now with undue grief. Lift up your hearts in peace to thee. God wanted me now. He set me free.